On a warm August night in 2013, 26-year-old Brandon Lawson walked out of his home in San Angelo, Texas, after a tense argument with his girlfriend. No one could have imagined that this short drive would become one of the most baffling and chilling disappearances in modern American history. Brandon didn't just vanish. He left behind a 911 call so disturbing, so confusing, and so filled with desperation that a decade later, it still sends shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it. Brandon drove north toward the rural highway stretching between San Angelo and Bronte. It was a quiet, lonely road, endless grass, scattered mesquite trees, and miles of darkness in every direction. At 12:53 a.m., Brandon called his brother Kyle, saying something cryptic. He was in trouble. He didn't explain what kind of trouble, only that he needed help and that someone was chasing him. Minutes later, Brandon's pickup truck was found abandoned on the side of the road, its gas tank empty, its doors unlocked. But Brandon wasn't there. He was somewhere in the darkness, miles from the nearest house, surrounded by nothing but open land. And then came the call, the one that still haunts investigators and internet sleuths to this day. At 12:54 a.m., Brandon dialed 911. His voice was frantic, breathless, broken by static and panic. He told the dispatcher he ran into somebody, and that there were guys chasing him into the woods. The call ended abruptly. No one knew where he went. No one knew who he ran from. And no one knew what had scared him enough to flee into pitch-black Texas wilderness. When police arrived at the truck, they assumed Brandon had fled to avoid trouble. They didn't search for him. They didn't treat the scene as a crime. They simply cleared the area, unaware that Brandon had called 911 just minutes before. His family arrived shortly after, calling his name into the empty fields, listening for any sound. Nothing answered except the wind. As daylight approached, the search began, but by then hours had passed. If Brandon was hurt, he was hurt alone. If he was hiding without help. And if he was running from someone, whoever it was had disappeared into the fields long before sunrise. In the days that followed, strange clues emerged. A person matching Brandon's description was reportedly seen walking alone on the highway. Multiple callers reported a man running into the trees near the same stretch of road. And yet every search, on foot, by helicopter, with dogs and thermal imaging, came up empty. It was as if the night had swallowed him whole. The theories multiplied. Some believed Brandon was fleeing dangerous strangers on the roadside. Others suggested he had witnessed something and was chased for it. Some pointed to the possibility of an accident in the wilderness. And a few believed foul play was involved, hidden in the shadows of rural Texas. But the biggest mystery remains the call. Brandon's final words, broken, terrified, impossible to fully decipher, keep the case alive. His family refuses to believe he simply vanished. They believe he was running from something real, something dangerous, something still unexplainable. For 10 years, the road where Brandon disappeared has remained eerily unchanged. The same stretch of empty land, the same strange silence, and the same unanswered question that echoes through the Texas night. What happened to Brandon Lawson?